Crushing the meta.
Welcome to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta, and today we're here with
Kiwii.
Kiwii. Kiwii is playing Touken Ranbu. Is it your favorite clan?
Yes, it is by far.
And what other clans do you play?
I also like to play Pale Moon, Nova Grappler, and Bermuda Triangle.
Okay. What's the reason that you play Touken Ranbu?
Well, first everyone told me it was like a laughing clan that was made just for fun.
Yep.
And I bought the trial deck because, well, the theme, I kind of like the theme.
Yep.
I started playing and I noticed that the deck can go whatever way you point it to. It can go into really aggressive, really defensive.
It listens to you.
Yeah, and you
Yep.
can make it the way you want it.
Yep.
And I really like that. And I also like the fact that not a lot of people play this clan.
Yep.
So you can actually surprise them with
Yeah.
the powers of this clan.
Also, for me, was that the reason to play Spike Brothers? But nowadays, more people play Spike Brothers.
Well, maybe we'll get
Yeah.
a Touken Ranbu revolution.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just go through the deck.
Okay.
And after that we can have some questions and maybe he could explain some of the builds or show us some of his combos if
Sure.
he would like to.
First of all, the starter. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce them because it's not my language. I run this starter. I think there's only two that are being run, and I like this one because I use a lot of counter charge.
Okay.
Obviously, 4 heals,
Yep.
which is standard.
Oh, as I said, we just will go through the deck very fast and after that we'll be explaining the skills.
4, 6, 10 crit.
Yep. So you have only one crit with a skill, the others are all
Yes,
vanillas.
all vanillas.
Okay, cool.
And I got 2 draws, just to get an extra hand size.
Okay. True enough?
Well, you can do 4, but I also have other cards that draw me cards.
Okay.
If you want to play more defensive, you can
You,
swap
you
them
don't deck out in this
in. No,
clan.
not that much.
Okay.
4 perfect guards with unflip,
Yep.
3 stride fodders.
3?
Yes,
Okay.
3.
Interesting.
The main booster of the clan, 4 times.
Yep.
He gives extra power when you boost a specific type. 2 grade 1s for surprise turns.
Yep.
I play 3 10k grade 2s,
3.
just against early pressure.
Yep. And not 4?
No, not 4.
No space.
No, it's really tight already.
Yep.
2 7k with resist.
Yep. The same with this guy. You would like to run him more, but you
Yeah,
don't
there's
really
just
have
no,
the space.
there's no space. 2 versions of Nakigatsune, or whatever you pronounce it. 2 different types, basically they provide
Yep.
on hit
2
pressure.
different arts.
Yes. My main grade 2. with
I
also-
hate this guy.
Yeah,
I really hate this guy. I played against Kiwii today in the tournament, and
Yeah.
he really surprised me twice with the starter. So,
yeah, it's really fun. The main grade 3,
yep,
3 times a restanding.
7
unit.
grade 3s.
Yes. 8 grade 3s, and this one's to attack a column.
Yep.
And that's it.
Okay. Let's go through the G zone, or let's first explain the cards and then go to the G zone. Would
Okay.
make it easier.
In order?
Doesn't matter. Just go through your grade 3s first.
Okay. Basically, this one says GB1, flip 1 open, and you
Yep.
can attack a front row unit and the back row unit behind it.
Okay.
And
so
that's
it attacks
until-
a column.
Yes, and that's until end of turn.
Okay.
So really good if you restand. This guy says GB1, counter flip 1 or counter blast 1. If this one hits a Vanguard, you can choose a column, so front row and back row,
Yep.
and stand both of them.
Yep.
You can also choose this to target the rear guard behind him and
And he will
restand
restand as
instead.
well.
But
Yeah.
you can only use the skill
Once
once
per
per turn.
Okay.
That's with all the Homare skills. That's just a limiting factor because else it would be really strong.
We will show you the combos later on.
Yes. The main grade 3, stride skill, soul charge 1, choose 2 units and give him 3k.
Okay.
You will have to do this while striding, so you can't place anything, so everything has to be on the field before. And the Homare skill when you don't stride. If this one hits a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, counter flip 1, and choose a grade 3 from your drop zone and call it to hand. So next turn you will always have stride for it.
Yep. So he does help. Also, the good thing about him is he does give you the access to soul because he fills your soul,
Yes.
and he helps a lot with making the right numbers because this deck or clan could be very awkward, and
Yeah.
this guy helps a lot with extra 3Ks.
Yeah, a lot of times you end up with 18k, but
Yep.
if you give 1 times 3k, you hit the magic number.
Yep. And also, if it doesn't work, you can give the whole column the extra 3K, so you got
6k,
6K.
so which always gives at least 5k more.
Yep. So that does help a lot.
Yes.
And just remember the hit pressure that this clan has is just amazing. I would just like to play this land just for the hit pressure that it gives.
Talking about hit pressure,
Oh damn, I hate
the
this card.
main grade 2 also has a Homare skill, which means you can only pay for 1 Homare skill a turn.
Yep.
Even if you re-stand or whatever. Counterblast 1, if this hits a Vanguard, stand it and give it 2k. Afterwards, it can attack everything except the Vanguard, including rear guards on the back row.
Okay.
Really good to snipe the pesky little starters that have a shit ton of...
Yep.
I'm looking at your deck there.
I know. Hey, remember guys, this deck doesn't really have GB2 skills, so you could just activate your skills, which
Yep.
is very amazing.
Yeah, this is really good for early game
Yep.
as well. If you restand him, he still can't attack a Vanguard, so you do have to keep in mind when you want to pay for his on hit, because you can't pressure with a crit afterwards or anything.
Yeah. And keep it a surprise attack.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a samurai deck, so keep it a surprise attack.
I run this guy twice.
I like to call him Kakashi because of the mask
Yeah.
from Naruto.
Yeah, the fox as well.
Yeah.
Basically, this one says Homare as well, so you have to think which one you want to do. Counterblast, Soul Blast. If you hit a Vanguard, draw a card and place a card from your hand onto the battlefield.
It's like Bermuda. It's a Bermuda triangle skill.
Yeah. And the second part isn't optional, so make sure that if you only have heals or perfect guards in hand, you will have to place one.
Yep.
So think it through before you actually pay for it. I have the Toku version of this as well. Counterblast 1 and put it in the soul. When it hits, soul charge 1, choose a card from hand, call it to R, and then you draw.
Okay.
So you don't have the option of drawing a miracle card.
But you like the two of them.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have the soul
Yep.
yet, and this one will allow you to fill the soul while
Yeah.
still be able to call extra card. It's just to spice things up a bit. The unexpected card for a lot of people, because it only has a 7k base. It has resist, so you can't, if you place it on the back row, you can't really get rid of it easy. Basically, when it attacks, so it doesn't have to hit, Soul Blast, Counter Blast, choose a card from hand, discard it, draw 2. So it's a net +1 for Soul Blast and a Counter Blast.
Yep.
But it doesn't have to hit. So if you have crappy cards in hand, this one can actually fill it up a bit.
Yep. The only downside, or there are two downsides to this card, where first of all, it's only 7k, but that's alright because of your stride skill.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, in my opinion, you have to discard first and then draw. But sometimes you draw and draw trigger, which
Yeah.
you really want to discard.
Yeah,
So-
that's true. But
yeah.
also it would be way too easy to pay for the cost.
Yep. And remember guys, as I said before, it's not GB skill, so you could just go and activate these guys in the early game. So that's very, very good about this deck.
If you have, if you run 3 of these and people rush you to 3 damage while you're striding to 2, you can end your turn with 9 cards in hand
Yep.
and a full field.
So and otherwise you will have like grade 2s, which has a lot of hit skills, which your opponent would have to discard more.
Yeah.
So you will get the hand advantage if you play this clan
Yeah.
smart.
And then because everyone and his mom is running rush decks these days, the 10k grade 2. Don't think this needs any explanation.
No, just 3.
Yeah, I run 3.
Did you try 4?
No, I didn't actually, because I didn't want to lower the draw mechanic
Yep.
of this, and all the others have so much on hit pressure. 10k attackers on your rear guards aren't really that impressive. People just, yeah, fine, I'll take it. But if you say, well, I can call another unit,
Yep.
I think that's more important. And
Also,
I run this guy 3 times, but most of the times I have him on my grade 2
Yeah.
rating.
The normally you play more 10Ks, especially like in Shadow Paladins or in Gears, because you don't really have a lot of rearguards that does something in the early game,
Yeah.
and because you have a very strong rearguards.
Every rear guard
Yep.
does stuff before GB.
Yeah, just being able to have the hit pressure or that you could draw more is just too good in this deck. So,
I guess you could even go to 2 and make more on hit pressure,
Yep.
but
but if you would take this one out, what would you put in there?
besides more of the same cards that I already have, there's also a grade 2 that says when it's boosted by a certain type, it gets plus
Yeah.
2k and on hit draw a card.
Okay.
That's really good as well because
you
you can
will-
get magic numbers that
So
way.
you will go for more draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Power
Yeah.
and draw.
Defensively, the only thing this clan has is a big hand advantage and being able to do a little bit from alternative resources. But other than that, there isn't much that you can't do.
No.
So
But you could work with everything that you have. You don't really need certain cards to play certain combos.
true.
So that's the good thing about this clan is you could just make do with whatever you have, which is amazing.
There is stuff that you prefer to have together,
Of course.
but other cards do work.
Yep. So we go to the great ones.
Yes, the great ones. The main surprise unit, 7k. This is actually, I think, the only card that has GB1.
Yep.
If you're on 3 damage or more, which is also a key element to this clan, it can attack from the back row. So with 7k, that's not all that impressive. But if you counterblast and soul blast 1, and it attacks a Vanguard, you can give it 9k until the end of the battle. So this can turn into a 16k without any effects.
Yeah. It's also not a problem that he's a GB1 because normally you do use him with a certain stride.
Yeah.
So
Other
it's
than that,
alright. Yeah, it's alright.
It's a good one to ride, actually, because it's not one with an effect that you really need.
Yep. It's more of a surprise attack.
Yeah, the other great ones, which we'll go through now, you really don't want to ride them.
Oh yeah,
if you
before
don't
we
have
go into that, do you remember, guys, that Kiwii also told me that this guy is the same as the Metal Ball Stride. When he attacks, you do have to use his skill. So let's say you restand him, you attack again,
Yeah.
you do have to Soul Blast, Counter Blast again to use his skill.
It's still end of battle, sadly. I wish it wasn't. I don't think it would be overpowered that
No.
much, but I can see why they did it.
Maybe because then you could play the skill twice to give him more power. I could
They could make it
understand.
once per turn.
Yeah, I could understand. Yeah, and make it once per turn, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that deck could be very Counter Blast heavy, so...
it does, yeah. Which is also why I run the extra draw, because you can get soul.
Yep.
It goes to the soul. This is the main boosting Toku. My clan, or my deck, doesn't really make that much use of it. He gets GB1. Oh, actually, it's another GB1. If he boosts Uchigata, he gets 3k extra when boosting.
Okay.
And if they have the Nito Kaigen ability, he gets another 3k. But that's not really something that I run.
Which guy is it? Is it this one?
No, I don't
Oh,
have
you
the
don't
last
play
3.
okay.
So basically, with all the grade 2s, Uchigata, grade 2s, this one becomes a 10k booster.
Okay.
Which is okay, especially
Yeah.
with the stride skill that you can give an extra 3k,
Yeah.
you can hit magic numbers. Mostly with Nito Kaigens, this one turns in 13, and then mostly the G2 in front of it also goes to 13, so that makes 26.
Whoa.
Really strong, but I really like the on-hit pressure these cards bring.
Okay.
It's preference, I'm not saying they're bad, it's just this one suits me better.
So you play 4 copies of him,
Yes,
right?
4. If I had to change one out, this would probably be it from
Okay.
the grade 1. I run 3 grade 1s, stride fodders. Besides the stride fodder skill, if you have this on rearguard as an act, you can put it in the soul. And if you have a grade 4 or greater, you can give it 5k.
Okay.
Whoop-de-doo, not that impressive. But it also gets the skill Homare, so you can't combine it with the other ones.
Nope.
I can't stress this enough because this is what a lot of people do wrong. When it hits a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, Counter Charge 2.
Okay.
So this is an option, especially as a first stride if you already use a
Yep.
lot of early pressure stuff.
But we use this guy.
Yeah, we'll get to him. We'll save the best to last.
So, I mean, if you use another starter, you could put this card up to 4.
Yeah, no, I still wouldn't do it myself, but we'll see why because
Yeah.
of the G zone.
And also because you're on 8 grade 3s, so normally you do have enough grade 3s in your hand to stride with. You also have strides that could put cards back into your hand, so you do have a lot of options in this deck, so that's very good.
I don't think there's any clan that's that multifunctional as this clan. compared to the way you
I
can
could
make.
say Rising Nova, but Rising Nova is GB, so I think that this clan has more options. The only thing that Spikerunners have for My Rising Nova is that you have the deck as a toolbox, so you have more
I
options.
don't search anything out of the
No,
deck. That's
so
true.
so you are so you do need to have the right cards in your hand. But I mean, all your cards are key units. I mean, maybe only the 10k, which also has purpose. So yeah.
So that's a stride fodder. You can't search a grade 3 with this one, basically because there isn't a main grade 3 in this clan.
Nope.
So they gave it the counter charge ability. And last but not least, we run for perfect guards, and they have the unflip, which is really, really, really required because you go through so much counters.
You have another perfect guards with skills.
Yes. There is one where you can countercharge, counterblast one, draw a card. If it's a trigger, it goes to reveal the top card. If it's a trigger, it goes to hand.
Yep.
And if it isn't, you can countercharge.
Okay.
But then it goes back into the deck.
Okay.
So there's an optional crit that you can get.
Yep.
Can be handy if you draw a heal for a G guard or anything, but I prefer the countercharge.
Okay.
Then
This card only works when the Vanguard's attacked?
yes,
Okay.
yes. The other one isn't. This one is.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. The main surprise that a lot of people don't know. Basically, when this unit boosts, if there's no open countercharge,
Yep.
then you can Soul Blast, flip one open. This unit gets plus 3k, and if the unit that it boosts doesn't hit this turn,
Yep.
then basically that's the way it stays. If it does hit, it goes into the soul and you draw a card.
Okay.
If it doesn't hit, which is kind of what you don't want, you want to have this on the field as long as you can, because
Yep.
every turn you can just unflip.
Yep.
you
There
don't have any open.
there is a strategy to work around this guy, but we're not gonna tell you. So
Thank
so
you.
we'll keep it a secret.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe they'll find out when they play against me.
Yeah, I think they will, or don't.
Either way.
Yep.
Starter. Triggers. 2 draw that go into the soul as an act to unflip.
Yep, it's very good. This is one of the best draw triggers in the game, because normally the crit have the skill which you have to give up a 10k, but this guy just go into the soul and give you a counter charge. So a soul charge and a counter charge, which is amazing.
Yeah. And as you saw, a lot of cards use Soul Blast, so
Yep.
that's
And,
really
and
required.
counter blast, so
Yeah,
it's
counterblast
perfect.
as well. It's perfect.
You could even play him at 4 just for this skill,
Yeah.
but you don't really need to. I mean, the deck is very balanced as it is. So.
Well, it's not that unusual that you end up with a hand size of 10 plus with
Yep.
this clan. It can increase further, but I really like the pressure of crits early
Yep.
game. So there's 6 vanilla crits, nothing special there, and 4 special crits. Basically, this unit says, if it's still standing while your Vanguard attacks, put it in the soul and choose 2 units that give them 3k.
Yep.
Key thing is it has to, and you draw a card. Sorry. But the key thing is you can't use this to boost. If you boost with it, you can't use it,
Nope.
put it in the soul. I really like the fact that you can separate your power over 2 units. So you
Yep.
can choose 2 side rear guards or a full column and give it 6k over the 5k over a Vanguard. And you can still put it on the Vanguard if you want to.
It's the same with the stride skill.
Yep.
Could you choose the same unit twice?
No,
Okay.
sadly no. Choose 2 units. Other than that, I have 4 heals, which are vanilla. There isn't any GB8 or special heals or anything like that, so we just used vanillas.
Yeah, guys, I did say this before in our GB8 video. There were 3 slots in the GB8 Fighter Collection booster.
Yep.
And 3 Clay Elementals, and I really hoped that they would give Touken Ranbu 3 cards, so G Guardian, GB8 and Heal Trigger. Because I mean the clan deserve it, there are players playing the clan, so why? I mean, if you give them support, there will be more players playing the clan, so I don't really see why you won't give them GB8. I do understand that it's not a clan that is combined with the other clan or that is in the series, in the anime, but still, I mean, Bushiroad, if you're watching this, I hope that in the next Fighter Collection or a box that has all the clans in it, just include Touken Ranbu. I mean, that would be great.
At least we can say that maybe now a full Cray Elemental deck eventually will be possible because
Yeah.
there are getting a lot of cards there.
Yeah.
Stride units. This is basically where the clan gets its diversity because there's so many different abilities. First off, the stride version of the grade 3 of my deck.
Yep.
You counter blast and you soul blast 1, and you choose a grade 3 and a grade 2 from your drop zone, and you put them on the field. Really good if you intercept early with a grade 2, and the main reason why I don't run 4 stride followers is because I want to use a grade 3
Yep.
to discard for my stride and then call it back into the field
Yep.
the moment after.
There is very good cost that you play because you have to Counter Blast and a Soul Blast. The card that you Soul Blast, you could call that card if you want to.
Yeah, if it's a grade 2,
Yeah.
indeed you can call them.
Yeah, or maybe grade 3 that you Soul Charge it before. I mean, this guy helps great with being able to call
Yep.
the right units.
Yeah, and the main other thing is if you have, I think, two or more in your G zone, so if you G guarded before, one of the 2 units that you called, grade 2 or grade 3,
Yep.
can go back into your hand at the end of the turn. So you usually pick the grade 3, unless you have a lot of them, but so you know you can always stride next turn.
Yeah, or or a grade 2 for guarding, like 5k extra.
Yeah.
But normally you could also intercept with that, so.
Yep. This is usually the one you want to stride first.
Okay.
At least that's what I do. As the grade 3 attacks 2 units in the behind each other, this one says counter blast 1, and this one attacks the entire front row.
Yep. I'm very happy that they brought this guy back in the grade 3 version.
Yeah. The same goes to.
Yeah, the same goes for the other main grade 3.
Yep.
So it's very nice. This guy attacks the whole front row, as Kiwii said, and this guy attacks the whole column.
Yep.
So that's very nice.
I really like that it's really cheap. It's 1 counter blast to
Yep.
basically get rid of 3 units.
Yep. And it's also Persona Amphib, so
Yep.
if they ever get a GB8, then
Yeah, we're gonna get there really, really soon.
so this guy would still be very good.
Yep.
And this surprise your opponents. Basically, even if they know the clan, they sometimes forget about this guy. You just attack, or if you play Aqua Force or something like Nova Grapplers, you normally have a front row rearguard. You have to. So this guy works great, just
Yep.
to retire them.
And even for 1 counter blast, I don't really think it's a problem to just attack if there's 1 rearguard in the front
Yeah.
row, because it's still for 1 counter blast get
Why
rid of
not?
another one.
Yeah, why not?
It's at least 26 plus your booster.
Yep.
So that's taking up a lot of guard if you want to keep it safe. Next, GB2. I think the only one that has G. Oh no, there's one other. Counterblast 1. When this attacks, he gets plus 3k for every standing rearguard you have, and they can't use Sentinel abilities.
Ooh. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, this one really surprised a lot of people because they G-guard preferably, and then later on they have perfect guards and
Yep.
they think, well, I'll survive this turn. Nope, not with this guy.
So as you see, there are a lot of options. I mean, you see something here that like G-guard restriction, or that they have to use the rights. You have the Vermilion skill, the Narukami skill. You have the Grand Blue Dimension Police skill. So you have a lot of different clans,
Yep.
but that will give you a very big advantage because you have way too much options to choose between.
Yes. There is one thing with this guy. Since G-guards, especially the new ones, usually get really high numbers.
Yep.
You will probably find that this might not make it, and it's maybe worth it to, well, think it through properly, because
When
with
to use
4,
him, yeah.
you really want a full field to get plus 3k for every rearguard. So if you have full columns, you at least get 12k extra, so it makes it 38
Yep.
with a booster. It can be good, but a lot of G-guards can actually counter it now
Yeah.
with just 1 G-guard. Still, if they don't have to heal,
Yeah.
it's damage.
It's also very good that you do have the option to go into him. I
Yep.
mean, a lot of clans doesn't really have that. So
True. If you thought attack the front row was annoying, this one's even worse. Act skill, once per turn, counterblast 1, choose a unit from your G zone, so it's a breeze if you're already on 3,
yep.
and flip it open. It gets plus 3k for every open open G zone unit.
Yep.
And if there's 2 or more, it gets a crit. But the main reason why you want to use it is for every 2 G units open, you can retire a front row unit.
And remember, he doesn't really have to unflip himself. So he's like a Blade Master Titan, but even better. Because he retires 1 for every 2 you have face up,
Yes.
and he already unflipped something.
Yep.
So let's say you stride first into him, and you G-guard it, so you already have 4, so you could retire up to 2.
Yep.
But from the front row, remember that, guys. Don't,
Yeah,
don't
only
play
front row.
don't play this deck wrong. There you could go very wrong playing this deck, but just read the cards very good. And
Yeah, if you play against this deck and you think, wait, this is OP, it probably is, but make sure to read it, because
Yep.
sometimes people use multiple Homare skills in one turn, or they try to retire rear guards in the back row. Really can't do that.
yeah.
It's a lot of small restrictions like
Yeah.
that.
And also, by doing that, by reading the cards, you also help your opponent to understand their deck better. So sometimes it's alright to do so, but just be okay about it. Don't just make... just keep it friendly.
Yeah, and I think every Touken Ranbu player out there, I hope you guys still are out there. I think all of us are really helpful with saying what skills do, because we really like the clan and we hope multiple people pick up.
Yeah. So when you play against Touken Ranbu, the thing that you want is that your opponents wanting to play against you the next time,
Yeah.
and not that they hate the clan. So remember that, guys. Just be friendly.
Yeah. Next. I think I have 2 of these. Yep. This one says when this is the last unit that attacks, so if everything is at rest, make sure to rest rear guards in the, like, move them to the front so you're able to
Yep.
use the skill. Counterblast 1, choose a G zone unit and flip it open. It gets plus 10k extra if everything is rested, plus a crit, plus a drive. So that's really good to get your hand size back up.
Yep.
Extra pressure because it's a high number with a crit. There is one side note that you have to have 3 or more damage Shinken Hisatsu. I myself sometimes forget this. Luckily, a lot of people that I play against by now know my clan, so tell me that I'm wrong. So if people try to pull this one as a first stride,
It doesn't work.
it doesn't work. It's
Or
just
maybe
a
if
vanilla
you
one.
are at...
Yeah,
if
if
you
you're
have
at
the
3
damage.
damage.
So if you guys already seen that a lot of the cards in your G zone unflip something but not itself.
Yep.
So if this card is very effective against the clan that your opponent's playing, you don't really have to unflip him, you could just unflip
just-
something else.
Usually this is one of the cards that you
Yeah.
get rid of, and a breeze maybe.
yeah, and it's the same with this. If you want to rush your opponent, like attack with the rear guards, then attack with him, then attack with the rear guards again.
Yep.
I mean, this is basically Commander Laurel Stride skill, but doesn't really have to hit. So yeah, so you do have a lot of options.
Yeah,
I wish my G zone would look like this.
You like Samurai as well, huh?
No, I don't like. I do like samurais. I love the art.
The main boss guy, he was new in the second box.
Yep.
As you may notice, they look really similar.
I think it's the same art. Maybe
No,
the color is
his
different.
mouth is different. He has a slight smirk. You have to really pay close attention, but there is a difference. His skill, GB2, if all of your rear guards are still standing, so not rested, he gets a crit.
Yep.
GB3, discard, I think, 2 cards from your hand before the attack, so you can't drive check first. Counterblast 1 and stand all your units.
Okay.
I tell it in this way, but if you think about it, when he attacks, discard 2, stand everything, his GB2 skill applies, and he gets a crit.
Yep.
So if you use it in that order, it makes a lot more sense. And basically, all the drive checks, if they perfect guard this, go to your rear guards, which can all stand again.
Yep.
Really, really nice finisher.
Yeah, he is. Does he cost you an unflip or something?
Nope,
He doesn't cost you anything.
nope.
Okay.
That's one of the pluses. Except the discard 2, but as you
Yeah.
saw, a lot of cards draw me.
Yeah, you
More
have the
cards.
hand advantage.
Usually I do.
Do you go into him a lot or not really? Sometimes you finish the
If
game
I know
before
they
that.
don't have a perfect guard,
Yeah.
this one's devastating because he gets a crit and you
Yeah.
get multiple attacks. But yeah, this is basically a late game card, especially since you need GB3.
Yeah.
You can't use it as a first try. I don't think I see, half of my matches don't see this guy.
No. This guy could have been a GB8 if the skill was like give more power or something. So
Oh, that's right. I didn't even tell you.
Yeah.
When he restands everything, they all get 3k extra.
yeah, so if it was like a 10k or something,
Yeah, he
Then-
would be a lot stronger.
yeah, he would be like a GB8 version of the clan.
Yeah.
But I think if Touken Ranbu will get a GB8, then the skill would be very different than this
I
guy.
really don't know which way they want to go because we have all kinds of mechanics. So
Yep.
the GB8 could be in every corner of the
Yeah.
spectrum. So next, two really boring G units that almost every deck has. The Dismal if you want to keep rear guard safe, and the Sabreeze if people are stalling you.
Yep.
Not a lot of cards in this deck really require GB1, but I do really like to get my strides on early. And the Grade 1 that boosts extra.
So normally these two will be your first strike, but
Yeah.
you've told me this before. Sometimes you don't really want to go into him because you don't retire anything.
Nope.
Let's say you could Soul Blast something to call that if you don't have anything in your soul. But sometimes you want to keep him as your second strike to get the card back to your hand.
Yep.
You could go for him as the first strike.
Yeah, you stride him basically because all your other Grade 4s will be vanilla and you
Yep.
can't use their skill, there's no rear guards to retire, whatever. Then I'd rather strike this one and use it as a vanilla while
Yep.
having the cards open with abilities and use them later on.
Maybe later if you have a GB8 in this clan, then you would go for one of them. I mean, this could call anything because you'd Soul Blast something. So just for the unflip, but now because you don't have GB8s, you could use them as your first strike.
Yeah.
That would be alright.
Yeah, exactly. So basically this is the standard stuff now.
Yep. And for more G Guardians,
Yeah, G-Guards. There's a rather boring one, which says Soul Blast 1, get 10k extra.
yep.
It's efficient because your Grade 3 gets a lot of soul anyway. So this one's cheap.
Also, he is better than the Fight Collection ones that we have in the other clans because they normally get the extra 5k, and this guy gets an easy 10k, so
Yeah.
that's very good.
Yeah.
But it's alright because they got this way later on than the other clans got it, so I do
Yeah.
understand him being stronger
And in my opinion, the strongest G-Guard
in the game.
in the game, hands down. In my opinion at least.
Why?
Well, you Soul Blast and you Counter Blast and you give an attacking unit, so not the booster but the attacking one, minus 10k until end of turn. So if it restands later, it still has minus 10k. And if you choose, yeah, there's a reason why I got this one. If you target a Vanguard with this, like a restanding Vanguard, he also gets 5k shield extra. So this is, let's say you attack with 26,
Yep.
a G-Guard, pay the cost, you're now on 16 and I'm on 31.
Yeah. So he's get the extra 15k because he gets 5k and you minus 10k. But the minus 10k is very important against clans that have restanding Vanguard or restanding rear guard. It also works
Yep.
on the rear guard, right?
Yes, everything.
So unlike something like a Sazanda or something, you could just give it a minus 10k.
Yeah, you can drop a little bit of the power.
Yeah.
Or you can use multiple. There was a reason, a game earlier where I used 2 on a restanding Vanguard and it was on 6k. Yeah.
Oh man, amazing.
So even triggers then don't stretch you.
So yeah, that was the deck.
Yep.
Thank you a lot for the explanation and the deck profile.
No problem, no problem.
I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
That is, I have seen players struggling to get the right cards, or some players that want to play Touken Ranbu, but they really don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So do you have any tips on how to pick up the clan or how to try it out?
Well, the way I did it, I bought a trial deck to see if I liked it. I played against the deck once and I was immediately sold already, but playing it yourself is a lot different. The trial deck isn't really seen anymore, the cards I mean in my deck, just a few. But it does give you a feeling of what the clan can do. It's really pressure numbers, the trial deck one. And if you want to build a deck, proper deck, besides the trial deck, I would just either try and find a complete deck from someone else and adjust it the way you want, or look for singles, because if you buy boxes, a lot of cards you won't get rid of because not a lot of people play this clan.
No.
So you're gonna be stuck with a lot of cards that you won't use. So I would just say try and find singles or try and find a complete deck from someone.
Okay. One last question. What's your favorite art? Or what's your favorite card?
Well, besides this special
Yeah.
prints, I really liked
The
like
main
the main grade 3. it's my main unit.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
And thank you guys for watching. And next time we'll be uploading a match between Kiwii, and you get to choose his opponent.
Oh, boy.
So what clan do you want to see Touken Ranbu play against? So thank you guys, until next time.
Bye.